Alex stood by the wide observation window of Orion 9, staring at the swirling colors of the gas giant below. The planet's atmosphere shimmered in soft blues and purples, and tiny streaks of light from distant stars traveled across the darkness of space. Orion 9 was a research station orbiting the gas giant, and Alex had been assigned there for the past 6 months. He liked the quiet here. The hum of machines and the occasional chatter of crew members were comforting in their own way. Today felt different. There was a new presence in the lounge, a figure sitting calmly in one of the chairs across the room. She did not look like anyone Alex had seen before. Her hair was a soft brown, her eyes a curious green, and she had a small smile that seemed to hold many thoughts. She was not wearing a uniform. Instead, she wore a simple, light gray suit that seemed designed more for comfort than for work. Alex felt a strange pull toward her. There was something about the way she watched him, as if she could see everything he was thinking. Normally, he liked to keep his thoughts private, but with her it felt as if there was no hiding anything. He shook his head slightly, trying to focus on the view outside the window. "Hello," he said finally, turning toward her. His voice sounded casual, but he hoped it did not reveal his nervousness. The woman tilted her head slightly. "Hello, Alex," she said. Her voice was soft, calm, and full of quiet confidence. "I am Mira." Alex froze for a moment. "You know my name?" he asked. His voice rose slightly, betraying his surprise. Mira's smile did not falter. "I know many things," she said simply. "Not everything, but I am very curious about people." "About humans," Alex blinked. He had heard rumors about unusual visitors on other stations, but never here. "I do not understand." "Who are you?" "I am here to learn," Mira replied. She leaned back in her chair and crossed her legs. Her posture relaxed. "I study human behavior, human thought, human creativity. Your station is one of many places I visit. You have been interesting to observe." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. "Observe me? Why me?" "Because you notice details," Mira said. "You take your work seriously and you pay attention to patterns. You think carefully before acting. That is rare. Humans often act too quickly or without reflection." Alex swallowed. He had always thought of himself as average. Nothing remarkable. But here was someone who had watched him, studied him, and noticed things he did not even consider important. "Do you work for the station?" he asked cautiously. "Are you some kind of supervisor or analyst?" Mira shook her head. "No, I'm not part of the station staff. I do not report to anyone here. I simply learn." Alex could not hide his curiosity. "Learn what exactly?" "Humans," Mira replied simply. "Your creativity, your ideas, your problem-solving skills, your ability to adapt and overcome challenges. These things are unique. You do things no machine could predict. I want to understand that." Alex sat down across from her, trying to appear calm even though he felt a mix of excitement and unease. "So you study people? That is your purpose?" "Yes," Mira said. "But I also like to connect with them. Learning happens faster when there is a conversation, when there is trust, when there is curiosity on both sides." Alex thought about that for a moment. Trust was not something he gave lightly, but Mira's calm and careful manner made it hard to feel wary of her. "So you want to talk to me?" he said finally. "Yes," Mira replied, her green eyes steady on his. "I want to understand what it is like to think as a human. I want to see how humans feel about challenges, about hope, about creativity." Alex laughed softly, partly out of disbelief. "You make it sound like humans are very complicated. We are not that extraordinary." Mira leaned forward slightly, her eyes still on his. "You are extraordinary," she said simply, "even if you do not see it." Alex was caught off guard by the statement. He wanted to ask her why she thought that, but something told him that she would explain it in her own time. For now, he decided to play along. "All right," he said. "If I am extraordinary, what does that mean for you?" "It means I can learn," Mira replied. "It means I can understand more about human thought. It means I can see how humans solve problems that are not predictable. You are a puzzle I would like to explore." Alex smiled at the word puzzle. He liked puzzles. He liked challenges. Suddenly, this mysterious visitor felt less like a threat and more like a companion for thought. "Do you stay on the station?" he asked, trying to gauge how long she would be around. "Not for long," Mira said. "I move from station to station, observing, learning. But while I am here, I want to see what humans can do. I want to see your station, your routines, and your thinking. I want to understand what makes your species so adaptable. Alex's curiosity grew stronger. Can I help you? He asked. Do you want me to show you how we work, how we solve problems? Mira nodded. Yes, that would be helpful. But more importantly, I want to see how you think when you are not being watched, how you react when a challenge arises, how you invent solutions from what is available. That is what interests me most. Alex leaned back in his chair, feeling a strange excitement. This was not just a visitor. This was someone who could see beyond the surface. Someone who could understand patterns, notice details, and learn from him in ways he had never imagined. I have a feeling this is going to be interesting, Alex said, smiling. It will be, Mira replied. If you are willing to let me observe, to let me learn, then we will both gain something valuable. Over the next hour, they began to talk about simple things. Alex explained the station's daily routines, the systems that kept the environment stable, and the small challenges that often arose. Mira listened carefully, asking questions that made Alex think in new ways. She would pause, tilt her head, and then say something that revealed she had noticed a detail he had never even considered. Your work schedule is very consistent, Mira observed. You follow a pattern, but you also leave room for small adjustments. That shows a combination of discipline and creativity. Alex was surprised. He had never thought about it that way. I suppose I do, he said. I try to keep things organized, but I also adapt when something unexpected happens. That is what makes humans remarkable, Mira said. Machines follow rules. They cannot adapt in the same way. You invent solutions. You create new ideas. You think in ways that are unpredictable. That is what I want to understand. As the hours passed, Alex realized that talking to Mira was unlike talking to anyone else. She did not judge, did not criticize, and did not dismiss ideas. She simply noticed, reflected, and asked questions that encouraged him to think more deeply. By the time the station's lights dimmed for the evening, Alex felt a connection with Mira that was unusual and exciting. She was not just a visitor. She was someone who challenged him to think, to observe, and to reflect on his own abilities. He could not explain why, but he felt that meeting her would change his perspective on everything he knew about humans and their potential. Mira stood, her movements graceful and calm. I will return tomorrow, she said. We will continue our discussion. I want to see more of your work, more of your thinking. You have shown me much already, but there is still more to discover. Alex nodded, feeling both anticipation and curiosity. I will be here, he said. I look forward to it. As Mira left the lounge, Alex returned to the window, staring at the gas giant below. The station felt the same, quiet and calm, but he knew that something had shifted. He had met someone extraordinary, someone who saw beyond what was visible and noticed what others overlooked. Alex felt a strange sense of excitement. The future suddenly seemed bigger and brighter. He could not wait to see what tomorrow would bring, knowing that Mira would be there, watching closely, learning, and perhaps understanding more about humans than he had ever imagined. The next morning, Alex arrived at the observation lounge earlier than usual. The soft hum of the station's machinery filled the room, and the lights reflected off the polished floors. He had spent the night thinking about Mira and her strange ability to notice details that no one else seemed to see. He wondered what she would want to learn today and how their conversation would evolve. Mira was already there, sitting in the same chair, her hands folded neatly in her lap. She looked up as he entered and smiled. Good morning, Alex, she said. I'm glad you came early. It gives us more time to talk. Good morning, Alex replied. He hesitated for a moment, then asked, Did you think about yesterday? I did, Mira said. I thought about patterns, habits, and how humans adapt to situations. You are very consistent, yet you have a way of adjusting when needed. That combination is rare. Alex felt a small sense of pride. He had never thought of himself as rare or unique. Most days he simply followed his tasks and tried to do them well. But Mira's observation made him realize that perhaps ordinary humans could be extraordinary in ways they did not notice themselves. Do you want to see more of my work? Alex asked. I can show you the systems I manage and the routines we follow on the station. Yes, Mira said. That would help me learn. But I am also interested in your thought process, how you decide what to do first, how you prioritize problems. That is more important than the systems themselves. Alex nodded and led her through the corridors of the station. The walls were lined with panels that displayed the station's status, and small screens showed live data from the orbiting gas giant below. Alex explained each section, describing how the station maintained life support, controlled power, and monitored the environment. Mira listened carefully, asking questions that made Alex think more deeply about the reasons behind each step. "Why do you check the oxygen levels twice a day?" Mira asked. Alex paused. "Because small fluctuations can cause problems if we ignore them. It may seem unnecessary, but it helps us prevent bigger issues later." Mira tilted her head, her eyes bright with curiosity. "So humans anticipate problems before they happen, even when the risk is small. That is fascinating. Machines would not do that unless programmed." They reached the control room where Alex showed her the central console. "Here we can see the station's status in real time. If any system behaves unusually, we can respond quickly." Mira observed the screens carefully. "Your reactions are measured and thoughtful. You notice small anomalies and make decisions based on patterns. That is a form of creativity, is it not?" Alex thought about it. He had always considered creativity as making new ideas or inventions. But Mira's words made him realize that problem-solving and careful observation were also forms of creativity. "Yes," he said slowly. "I suppose it is. We find ways to adapt and solve problems, even in situations we have never seen before." Mira nodded. "That is what makes humans remarkable. You can improvise, combine ideas, and learn from experience. That is why I study humans. You are unpredictable in ways that are valuable." As they walked back to the lounge, Alex asked, "Do you ever get tired of observing? Do you ever want to participate?" Mira smiled. "Observation is learning, but participation helps me understand even more. That is why I am here with you. By seeing your actions and thought processes, I gain insight. But by talking and interacting with you, I understand the human mind even better." Alex felt a sense of excitement. This was not just a visitor studying humans. Mira was like a partner, a companion in learning, someone who could explore ideas with him. He had never thought of working with someone in this way, and it was exhilarating. Over the next few hours, they experimented with small exercises. Alex would describe a problem on the station, and Mira would ask questions that encouraged him to think differently. Sometimes she would suggest ideas that seemed unusual, but when Alex tried them, he realized they worked. "Why did you suggest that?" Alex asked one time. "I noticed a pattern you had not considered," Mira replied. "Humans often focus on immediate details, but sometimes the bigger picture offers a simpler solution. I help you see what is not obvious." Alex began to understand that Mira's presence was not just about studying humans. She enhanced human thinking, helping him discover solutions faster and more efficiently. He felt a strange sense of joy at this collaboration. It was like having a mirror for his thoughts, someone who could reflect back ideas he had not fully recognized. During a break, they sat by the observation window again. The gas giant rotated slowly below, its colors shifting and changing. Alex took a deep breath. "I never imagined meeting someone like you," he said. "I thought this station would be quiet, just routine work, but now it feels full of possibilities." Mira looked at him. "Humans have that effect. Even ordinary people can inspire curiosity, creativity, and discovery. I have seen many stations, many people, but you are different. You notice details, reflect on them, and find solutions. That combination is rare." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of pride mixed with humility. "I am glad you are here. I feel like I am learning from you too." "You are," Mira said. "Learning is not one-sided. You teach me about human thought, about curiosity, about problem-solving. I adapt. I understand more. And together we explore possibilities that neither of us could reach alone." Their conversation was interrupted by a minor alert from the station. A small sensor had reported a slight fluctuation in power distribution. Alex walked over to the console and began checking the readings. Mira watched him closely, noting how he approached the problem. He explained each step to her as he worked. "I first check the source, then trace the distribution lines, and finally verify the output at each terminal. It takes time, but it ensures accuracy." Mira nodded. "Your approach is logical and efficient. You maintain control while adapting to the situation. Humans do this naturally, but machines require precise instructions." Within minutes, Alex identified the source of the fluctuation and corrected it. He smiled and relaxed. Mira clapped her hands softly. "Well done," she said. "You see the solution quickly because you combine observation, experience, and reasoning. That is what makes humans exceptional. Alex laughed. You make it sound like humans are superhumans. Mira shook her head. Not superhuman. Extraordinary in ways you may not always recognize. Every human has this potential. You demonstrate it daily. The day passed with small exercises, conversations, and observations. Alex noticed that he was thinking differently. He reflected more on his choices, observed patterns more carefully, and considered solutions from new perspectives. Mira's presence challenged him to be better, to explore ideas he had not tried before, and to see the ordinary work on the station as opportunities for innovation. By evening, Alex felt a connection to Mira that he could not explain. She was not just a visitor or an observer. She was a partner in learning, a companion in thought, and a mirror for human potential. He realized that her study of humans was not about control or evaluation, but about understanding, enhancing, and celebrating human creativity. As the station lights dimmed, Mira stood. Tomorrow we will continue, she said. I want to see more of your creativity, your curiosity, and your problem-solving skills. You have shown me much already, but there is still more to discover. Alex nodded, feeling anticipation and excitement. I will be here. I am curious too. Mira smiled and left the lounge. Alex returned to the observation window, watching the gas giant below. Its colors shifted softly, reflecting on the polished floor of the station. He thought about the day, about how much he had learned, and about the strange but exciting connection he had formed with Mira. For the first time, Alex felt that ordinary humans could accomplish extraordinary things when curiosity, observation, and creativity were combined. Mira's presence was a reminder that the human mind was capable of more than he had imagined. He leaned back in his chair, letting the soft hum of the station fill the room. The day had been unusual, full of learning and discovery, and he felt a sense of hope and possibility. He knew that tomorrow would bring more challenges, more insights, and more moments of understanding. Alex smiled, realizing that meeting Mira had opened a door to something new. He was excited to explore it, to see how far human potential could reach, and to learn from someone who saw humans in a way few could. The connection he felt with Mira was the beginning of a journey that would change the way he thought, the way he worked, and the way he understood himself. He looked out at the gas giant one last time and felt a sense of wonder. Humans were remarkable, and for the first time, he saw it clearly through Mira's eyes. The morning on Orion 9 began quietly, with the hum of machinery and soft chatter from the crew. Alex entered the observation lounge, his mind still reflecting on the lessons Mira had shared the previous day. He found her already there, sitting by the window, looking out at the swirling gases of the giant below. Good morning, Alex, Mira said calmly. I am ready to learn today. I hope you are too. Good morning, Alex replied. He could not hide the excitement in his voice. I am ready. What do you want to do today? Mira's eyes sparkled. I want to see how humans solve unexpected problems. That is when creativity and adaptability are most visible. Let us explore a challenge together. Just as Alex was about to ask what she meant, an alert sounded from the control panel, a low, steady tone that indicated a system irregularity. Alex frowned and hurried toward the console. Mira followed quietly, observing his every move. Sensor Array 9 is reporting a fluctuation in the power distribution, Alex said. It is minor, but it could affect the life support systems if not corrected. Mira's expression remained calm. What is your first step? She asked. I check the source of the fluctuation, Alex replied. Then I trace the power lines, inspect the distribution terminals, and ensure the output is stable. It takes patience and careful observation. Mira nodded. Show me as you work. I want to understand your process fully. Alex went to work. He traced each circuit carefully, noting anomalies that could indicate a problem. Mira watched him closely, her eyes analyzing every action. She asked questions that forced Alex to think differently, to notice details he might have overlooked. Why do you monitor that line separately? Mira asked. Because it handles secondary power distribution, Alex said. If there is an imbalance, it could affect several systems at once. I want to catch it early. As he worked, the irregularity worsened slightly. The sensor readings flickered and the power output fluctuated more noticeably. Alex felt a surge of determination. This is unusual, he said. The pattern is not typical. I need to consider alternative explanations. Mira tilted her head. What options do you have? Alex paused. Normally, he would follow the standard procedure, but Mira's presence encouraged him to think beyond the usual steps. I could reroute the power temporarily, check the backup systems, or inspect the circuitry manually. I need to decide which solution will restore stability fastest. Mira's green eyes studied him intently. You are analyzing possibilities while observing the consequences. That is human ingenuity in action. Machines would follow a preset path without considering alternatives. Alex smiled slightly. Mira's words reminded him to stay calm and focused. He quickly calculated the best solution and began implementing it. He rerouted the power through secondary channels while simultaneously inspecting the main distribution lines for any hidden issues. Mira mirrored his observations, noting his decision-making and problem-solving approach. Your coordination is efficient, Mira said. You manage multiple variables without losing focus. That is remarkable. Within minutes, the power fluctuation stabilized. Alex double-checked each terminal, ensuring all systems were functioning normally. He exhaled a breath he did not realize he had been holding. It's done, he said. The systems are stable. Mira's smile was calm and approving. Well done, Alex. You analyzed, adapted, and acted. That combination of observation and creativity is what makes humans exceptional. Alex felt a sense of pride mixed with excitement. He had solved the problem quickly, but Mira had helped him see the process differently. Her questions had made him consider alternatives and notice details he might have missed otherwise. The rest of the crew began to take notice. Several of them had observed Alex and Mira working together, and whispers of admiration filled the room. They had never seen a human solve a problem with such precision and calm coordination, especially while being observed by someone as unusual as Mira. After the alert cleared, Alex and Mira returned to the observation lounge. He sat by the window reflecting on the events of the morning. Mira sat across from him, her posture calm and attentive. You handled that challenge exceptionally well, Mira said, but it was more than your skills. It was your ability to remain flexible, to consider multiple solutions, and to act decisively. That is what I study. That is what I find extraordinary. Alex nodded, feeling a deeper understanding of Mira's mission. So your study is not just about observing humans. It is about seeing how we respond to problems, how we adapt and create solutions. Yes, Mira replied. Machines and programs follow instructions. Humans create instructions when none exist. That is what makes you unique. The day continued with small exercises and observations. Alex presented hypothetical challenges, and Mira asked questions that encouraged him to think in new ways. Sometimes she suggested approaches that seemed unusual, and when Alex tried them, he realized they were effective. At one point, Alex suggested a problem involving the station's communication system. A minor signal interference was disrupting the long-range transmissions, and the solution was not immediately obvious. Look at the source of interference, Mira suggested calmly. Observe patterns in the signal. Think beyond the equipment. What is affecting the transmission? Alex considered her words. He traced the signal paths, noting irregular spikes and fluctuations. After a few minutes, he identified a small environmental factor outside the station that was affecting the transmissions. He adjusted the system accordingly, and the signals returned to normal. You anticipated what was not immediately visible, Mira said. That is human adaptability. You consider the environment, not just the machines. That is why humans can solve problems no program could predict. Alex felt exhilarated. Each challenge, each question made him think differently. Mira was not just a visitor. She was a partner in learning, encouraging him to explore the boundaries of human thought. He began to see the potential humans had when curiosity, observation, and creativity were combined. As the day drew to a close, Alex and Mira returned to the observation window. The gas giant rotated slowly below, its colors shifting in patterns of blue, purple, and soft gold. The station's lights reflected on the floor, and the hum of machinery filled the quiet room. You have shown me much today, Mira said. But there is more to learn. Humans can grow in understanding when faced with challenges. Your response to today's problem shows your potential. You adapt, innovate, and inspire. Alex smiled. It feels different working with you. You make me see things I would not notice otherwise. That is the purpose of learning together, Mira said. Observation alone is limited. Interaction allows growth, understanding, and discovery. You have demonstrated this today. Alex thought about the other crew members and how they had witnessed his success. He realized that the presence of someone like Mira could inspire others too. Humans had the ability to learn from each other, to push boundaries, and to achieve remarkable outcomes when curiosity and collaboration were combined. Do you think humans are truly capable of extraordinary things? Alex asked. Mira's eyes held his gaze. Yes, every human has potential. Every human can adapt, create, and solve challenges that machines cannot. You have shown me that. You have demonstrated that today. And that is why I study humans. You remind me that potential exists everywhere waiting to be realized. Alex felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He realized that humans could accomplish great things when given the opportunity, when encouraged to think creatively, and when inspired to act. Mira had not only studied him, but had also helped him see the potential within himself. As the evening lights dimmed, Alex and Mira stood. Tomorrow we will explore even more, Mira said. I want to see how humans respond to new types of challenges, how creativity emerges under different conditions. You have shown me today that humans are remarkable, and I look forward to learning more. Alex nodded, feeling anticipation for the days ahead.
I am ready, he said.
I want to continue learning and exploring. Mira smiled and left the lounge. Alex returned to the observation window, looking at the gas giant below. Its shifting colors reminded him of the endless possibilities that awaited humans when they combined curiosity, observation, and ingenuity. He realized that the events of the day were more than just problem-solving exercises. They were lessons in human potential, lessons in creativity, and lessons in resilience. Mira's presence had illuminated a path toward understanding, showing that ordinary humans could achieve extraordinary outcomes when challenged and inspired. Alex leaned back in his chair, feeling a sense of wonder. The challenge of the morning had been a test of skill and adaptability, but it had also been a demonstration of what humans could accomplish. He understood now that the true strength of humanity lay not in machines, not in programs, but in the ability to think, adapt, and create. He watched the gas giant one last time as the station settled into its evening routine. The day had been full of learning, insight, and inspiration. Alex knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and new opportunities to explore the limits of human potential. Humans were remarkable, he thought, and with someone like Mira to guide observation and understanding, the possibilities were endless. The morning on Orion 9 began with a quiet hum of machinery and a soft glow of light, reflecting off the observation windows. Alex walked toward the lounge, thinking about the past few days. Mira's presence had changed the way he saw his work, his routines, and even himself. Each day he noticed patterns, made decisions more thoughtfully, and explored ideas more creatively. When he entered the lounge, Mira was sitting near the window, her gaze fixed on the gas giant below. "Good morning, Alex," she said. "I hope you are ready for today. I have something important to share." Alex felt a slight nervousness. He had been curious about her origin for days, wondering where she came from, why she was here, and how she knew so much. "Good morning, Mira," he replied. "I am ready. What do you want to share?" Mira looked at him calmly, her green eyes steady. "I want to explain why I study humans and why I am here on Orion 9. Understanding my purpose may help you see why humans are so remarkable." Alex sat down, leaning forward. He had waited for this moment. "I am listening," he said. Mira took a slow breath. "I am part of a research program from a distant human colony. My creators designed me to observe, understand, and learn from humans. We wanted to study how humans think, how they solve problems, and how they respond to challenges in different environments. Humans are unique. You create solutions that no machine or program could predict. You invent, adapt, and collaborate in ways that are extraordinary." Alex felt a mix of wonder and pride. He had never considered that humans could be the subject of such careful study. "So you were sent to observe us?" he asked. "Yes," Mira said, "but it is more than observation. I learn from humans, and in turn, humans learn from me. My presence is meant to encourage creativity, reflection, and innovation. Humans have a capacity for ingenuity that is unmatched, and I want to understand it fully." Alex thought about the past few days. The challenges, the exercises, the small problems on the station. Mira's questions had made him think differently, notice details, and explore new solutions. She had not only observed but also enhanced his ability to learn and create. "So you are not just observing," Alex said slowly. You are helping humans realize their potential. Mira nodded. Exactly. Observation alone is limited. Interaction allows growth, understanding, and discovery. By working with humans, I can see how creativity emerges, how ideas form, and how humans adapt to unforeseen circumstances. That is why I'm here with you. Alex smiled, feeling a sense of connection. It feels different working with you. You make me notice things I would not have seen on my own. That is the purpose, Mira said calmly. Humans have extraordinary potential, but it is often hidden until they face challenges, reflect, and explore possibilities. You have shown me that potential exists in abundance. Over the next few hours, Mira continued to explain her work. She described the distant colony that had created her, the other stations she had visited, and the many humans she had observed. She spoke of patterns she had noticed across different colonies, how humans shared creativity, problem-solving skills, and curiosity. What I find most fascinating, Mira said, is that humans can combine logic with imagination, reasoning with empathy, and observation with intuition. No program can do that. You invent solutions, create strategies, and adapt in ways that cannot be predicted. That is why I study humans. Alex was amazed. He had always thought of himself as ordinary. But Mira's words made him realize that the qualities he had taken for granted were extraordinary. Every day, humans faced challenges, solved problems, and created innovations. Every day, they demonstrated resilience, intelligence, and creativity. I never realized humans were studied in this way, Alex said. I thought our work on the station was just routine, but you see so much more. Yes, Mira said. Routine is where human potential is often revealed. When humans perform everyday tasks with thoughtfulness, creativity, and reflection, remarkable abilities emerge. I have seen it on every station I have visited, but your approach is exceptional. You notice patterns, reflect on problems, and act in ways that are both logical and inventive. Alex felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He realized that humans were capable of achieving great things when they applied their minds thoughtfully. Mira had helped him see that potential in himself and in others. Do you think humans can achieve even greater things? Alex asked. Mira's eyes held his gaze. Yes, humans have limitless potential. You can explore, innovate, and create solutions to challenges that no one has imagined. You can work together to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Every human has the ability to think, adapt, and grow. You demonstrate it every day, and that is why I study you. The rest of the day was filled with exercises designed to explore human creativity. Alex presented hypothetical scenarios, and Mira asked questions that encouraged him to consider multiple solutions. Sometimes she suggested approaches that seemed unusual, but Alex discovered that they worked effectively. At one point, Alex suggested a problem involving the station's water recycling system. A minor imbalance had been detected, and the solution required careful thought. Consider all factors, Mira said. Observe the patterns, the flow, and the reactions. Think beyond the obvious. Alex traced the system carefully, noting subtle variations in flow and pressure. He experimented with adjustments and observed the results. Within minutes, he found a solution that restored balance efficiently. You anticipated consequences and adapted creatively, Mira said approvingly. That is human ingenuity in action. Machines would follow instructions, but humans can invent solutions that programs cannot predict. Alex felt exhilarated. Each challenge, each exercise revealed more about human potential. Mira was not only studying him, but also inspiring him to explore new ideas and approaches. As the day came to an end, Alex and Mira returned to the observation lounge. The gas giant below glowed softly in shades of blue and purple, reflecting on the station's polished floors. You have shown me remarkable insight today, Mira said. Your creativity, adaptability, and observation are examples of what makes humans exceptional. I have learned much, and I hope you have as well. Alex nodded. I have learned a lot. Working with you makes me see things I would not have noticed. It makes me realize the potential humans have to solve problems and create solutions. Mira smiled. That is the purpose. Humans are extraordinary, not because of power or tools, but because of their mind, their curiosity, and their creativity. I hope you continue to explore that potential, not just for yourself, but for the future of humanity. Alex felt a deep sense of connection and understanding. Mira was more than a visitor or observer. She was a partner in learning, a guide in exploring human potential, and a reminder that ordinary humans could accomplish extraordinary things. I will continue learning, Alex said. I want to explore possibilities, solve problems, and see how far humans can go. That is the spirit, Mira said calmly. Humanity has achieved incredible things and will continue to do so. Your creativity, resilience, and curiosity are part of what makes humans capable of reaching new heights. I am here to learn, but also to remind humans of their own potential. As the evening lights dimmed, Mira stood. Tomorrow we will continue our exploration. I want to see how humans respond to challenges that are new, unexpected, and complex. You have demonstrated insight, creativity, and adaptability today. Tomorrow we will see how far your ingenuity can go. Alex nodded, feeling anticipation and excitement. I am ready. I want to continue discovering and learning. Mira smiled and left the lounge. Alex returned to the observation window, watching the gas giant below. Its shifting colors reflected the endless possibilities that awaited humans when curiosity, creativity, and ingenuity were combined. He realized that Mira's presence had illuminated something important. Humans had the ability to think, adapt, and create solutions to problems that no machine could predict. They had the power to innovate, explore, and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Alex leaned back in his chair, feeling a sense of wonder. The day had been full of learning, insight, and inspiration. Mira had revealed her purpose, and in doing so had shown Alex that humans were capable of incredible achievements. He watched the gas giant one last time and felt hope for the future. With curiosity, reflection, and creativity, humans could reach beyond what they imagined. Mira's presence was a reminder that extraordinary potential existed in every individual, waiting to be realized. Alex smiled. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and new opportunities to explore the limits of human potential. He felt proud, inspired, and ready to see how far humans could go. Humans were extraordinary, he realized. And with guidance, observation, and encouragement, their potential was limitless. The morning sun of Orion 9's orbit reflected softly on the station's metal walls. Alex woke with a sense of anticipation. Today felt different. Mira had been quieter than usual the previous evening, her expressions thoughtful and calm. Alex wondered if she had sensed that today would be important, a day that would mark a new understanding for both of them. When he entered the observation lounge, Mira was already seated by the window, her eyes on the swirling colors of the gas giant below. She turned as he entered and gave him a small, serene smile. "Good morning, Alex," she said. "Today will be a day of reflection, observation, and new perspectives. Are you ready?" "I am ready," Alex said. He had learned so much in the past days. Mira had taught him to notice details, consider possibilities, and see potential in even the most ordinary tasks. He felt excited to continue learning. Mira's voice was calm but firm. "You have demonstrated remarkable skills, creativity, and adaptability. Today I want to help you see how humans can continue to grow, not only in thought but in action, collaboration, and vision." Alex nodded. "I want to understand more. I want to see how far humans can go." Mira gestured for him to sit across from her. "Humans have a unique ability. You combine knowledge with curiosity, reflection with creativity, and observation with imagination. That allows you to find solutions where others may fail. Today, I want you to explore what is possible when these qualities are fully realized." They began the day by reviewing small tasks on the station. Alex described the routines, the systems, and the challenges he faced daily. Mira asked questions that encouraged him to think differently. She suggested alternative approaches to problem solving that he had never considered. Together, they explored hypothetical scenarios and real-time issues. One exercise involved the station's environmental systems. A minor discrepancy in the temperature readings needed investigation. Alex traced the sensors and recalibrated the system, while Mira asked questions about his decisions, helping him notice small factors that could improve efficiency. "You anticipated outcomes, adapted to the situation, and improved the system," Mira said. "That is human ingenuity. You create solutions, not simply follow instructions." Alex smiled. He realized how much he had grown in just a few days. His thinking had become more flexible, more analytical, and more creative. Mira had helped, Him see that humans could achieve extraordinary outcomes when curiosity, observation, and creativity work together. After completing the exercises, Mira guided Alex to a quiet observation deck. The deck offered a panoramic view of the gas giant below, its swirling patterns of blue, purple, and gold mesmerizing in their beauty. Alex stood beside Mira, watching the colors shift and flow. "You have learned much," Mira said softly. "But there is more to consider. Humans are not only thinkers but also collaborators. You can achieve far more when you work together, share ideas, and support each other. That is the true strength of your species." Alex thought about the other crew members and the small ways they had worked together over the past months. Each of them had their own skills, knowledge, and creativity. When combined, they formed a team capable of solving problems beyond the ability of a single individual. "I see that," Alex said. "Together we can do much more than we could alone." "Exactly," Mira replied. "Human collaboration is extraordinary. You invent together, adapt together, and learn together. That is why humans are capable of exploring the universe, discovering new knowledge, and achieving what no program or machine could accomplish alone." Mira then led Alex to the station's laboratory. There she showed him a small device, sleek and simple in design. "This is a tool," she explained. "It will allow you to capture ideas, analyze problems, and test solutions more efficiently. It is not a replacement for human thought but a companion to it. It will enhance your creativity, your problem-solving skills, and your ability to explore possibilities." Alex examined the device, impressed by its simplicity and utility. "How does it work?" he asked. "It records ideas and observations," Mira said. "It can suggest approaches, highlight patterns, and encourage exploration. But the decisions, creativity, and judgment remain yours. It is designed to support human potential, not replace it." Alex smiled. He realized that Mira had come not just to study humans but to help them see their own potential more clearly. She had shown him that ordinary humans could achieve extraordinary things with curiosity, creativity, and collaboration. "Thank you," Alex said sincerely. "You have taught me more than I imagined. I will use this to continue learning, exploring, and creating." Mira's green eyes shone with quiet satisfaction. "That is why I am here. Humans are capable of remarkable achievements. You have seen it for yourself. You have demonstrated it. And now you can continue that journey on your own with guidance, observation, and encouragement as companions." The day passed with discussions about human potential, creativity, and exploration. Mira encouraged Alex to think beyond the station, beyond the orbit of the gas giant, and even beyond the limitations of current technology. She challenged him to imagine possibilities that seemed impossible, to consider solutions that had never been tried, and to reflect on the ways humans could grow individually and collectively. By evening, the station lights dimmed, casting a soft glow on the walls and floors. Alex and Mira returned to the observation deck, watching the colors of the gas giant shift as the station moved in its orbit. "I will be leaving soon," Mira said quietly. "My mission continues to other stations, other colonies, other humans. But I leave you with this. Humans are capable of greatness. Curiosity, creativity, reflection, and collaboration can allow your species to achieve anything. You have demonstrated that potential, and now it is yours to explore." Alex felt a mixture of sadness and excitement. He had grown attached to Mira's presence, her calm guidance, and her thoughtful insights. At the same time, he understood her purpose and the importance of her journey. "I will remember your lessons," he said, "and I will continue exploring what humans can do." Mira smiled. "That is all I could ask. Remember, humans are not defined by tools, machines, or instructions. You are defined by your ability to think, adapt, create, and collaborate. That is what makes you extraordinary." The crew of Orion 9 gathered to say goodbye to Mira. They had witnessed her interactions with Alex and had learned from her guidance as well. The mood was calm, reflective, and filled with admiration. Mira acknowledged each crew member with a nod, her presence serene and inspiring. As Mira prepared to leave, she turned to Alex one last time. You have shown me what humans are capable of. Your creativity, insight, and collaboration have impressed me. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity, every problem is a chance to learn, and every human has potential waiting to be realized. Alex nodded, feeling a deep sense of purpose. I will not forget. Thank you for showing me what is possible. Mira stepped into the small transport module that would take her to the shuttle. Alex watched as the doors closed and the shuttle lifted from the station, moving smoothly into the orbit above the gas giant. He felt a strange emptiness, but also a sense of hope. Mira had left, but her lessons and guidance would remain. Alex turned back to the observation window, watching the swirling colors of the gas giant. He thought about the days with Mira, the challenges they had faced, the exercises and the conversations. He realized that humans had the power to explore, create, and adapt in ways that were truly extraordinary. He reflected on the lessons she had shared: curiosity, observation, creativity, and collaboration. These qualities were not just abstract ideas. They were tools, skills, and approaches that humans could use to achieve great things. Alex felt inspired to share these lessons with the crew. He organized small discussions, demonstrating the approaches he had learned from Mira. They explored challenges together, combining knowledge, creativity, and collaboration. The crew discovered new solutions, developed new ideas, and began to see the potential that had been there all along. Weeks passed and the station continued its work in orbit. Alex applied Mira's lessons to every task, every challenge, and every interaction. He encouraged curiosity, celebrated creativity, and promoted collaboration. The station's operations became more efficient, more innovative, and more thoughtful. Alex also explored new ideas beyond the station. He designed experiments, proposed new projects, and encouraged his colleagues to think differently. He realized that the potential Mira had shown him was not limited to one person or one station. It was a reflection of humanity's ability to adapt, create, and achieve extraordinary outcomes. One evening, Alex returned to the observation lounge, standing by the window. The gas giant rotated below, its colors shifting softly, reflecting on the floor. He thought about Mira, about the lessons she had shared, and about the future of humanity. Humans had the power to explore the stars, discover new knowledge, and create solutions that no machine could predict. They had the ability to learn, adapt, and innovate. And with curiosity, collaboration, and creativity, there was no limit to what they could achieve. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of hope and purpose. Mira had shown him what was possible, and now it was his turn to continue the journey. Humans were extraordinary. Their potential was limitless, and the future was full of possibilities waiting to be discovered. He turned to the console, making notes, planning experiments, and thinking about new challenges. The lessons of Mira remained with him, guiding his actions and inspiring his creativity. Orion 9 had become more than a station. It had become a place of learning, growth, and exploration. Alex looked at the stars beyond the gas giant and felt a connection to humanity's potential. Every discovery, every challenge, and every idea was a step toward a future full of possibilities. Mira had left the station, but her lessons had become part of him, part of the crew, and part of the journey of humanity. The observation window reflected the lights of the station and the shifting colors of the gas giant. Alex took a deep breath and smiled. Humans were capable of extraordinary things. The universe was full of challenges, opportunities, and mysteries, and humans with curiosity, creativity, and collaboration could achieve anything. The future was bright, the possibilities endless, and Alex knew that the lessons of Mira would guide humanity toward greatness for years to come.